What's going on, guys, and welcome back to another episode of the German Barrel Podcast. And today we want to take a deep dive into Caleb Williams' Week 2 preseason performance against the Cincinnati Bengals. And after yesterday's victory against the Cincinnati Bengals, I'm really excited to talk about Caleb Williams and what he was able to showcase in the game against them yesterday. And I think it was a great game for him to especially learn and take stuff from. I think if he had a perfect preseason, that would be kind of weird as well. And it's better to make a couple of mistakes now than later on in the regular season. So I think it was a great learning curve, and he also showed a couple of incredible things, as we'll see in today's film room. But before we want to do that, real quick, the stats for him in this game: he went 6 for 13, 75 yards, was sacked one time, and also had one rushing attempt for 7 yards and a touchdown. And I think overall, as I said, a pretty good game for Caleb Williams himself. For the first team offense, not particularly, but I'll get into that today, especially more in today's conclusion. But with that being said, let's not waste any more time and get into the all 22 breakdown. And we want to start it off with why and how the Chicago Bears got 3 times a 3 and out on 3 drives. What happened there? What was wrong? And was it on Caleb Williams? We'll see that right now. Starting off with the first drive on a 1st and 10. And Shane Waldron decides to start off the game here with a sprint out pass, which I do not hate. I also do not love it. I'm not the biggest fan of sprint out passes. But with that being said, about Shane Waldron, I think people should stop panicking at all. It's preseason football. It's the most simple football that's being played the entire NFL calendar year, and it's something that you should not rely on being the identity for the Chicago Bears moving forward. There's a lot of plays that the Bears already showed in week 1 of the preseason. Obviously, teams are going to be prepared for those things, but you're not going to show anything that you're going to show in the regular season and what your style of play is going to be. So do not panic. It's preseason football, but it's still going to give us a lot of info about Caleb Williams and what he's able to do as a player, and from a mechanic standpoint, if you understand defenses on simple read plays. And as I said, we're started off right here the game with a sprint out pass where we're trying to Keenan Allen on a quick out. DJ Moore is running a 10 and in, and Roma Dunza is going over on an over route into Caleb's eye window. And right now here, a good decision by Caleb Williams. It's a simple decision. It's the only thing potentially open. Not a bad ball, I think, from Caleb here. I think Keenan touches it at least, and I think he could have caught it. It's just a little bit too quick there. And still, I mean, you want Caleb to lead the ball a little bit more and keep it a little lower here on a throw, but nothing bad from 18 here. It's just a missed throw on 1st and 10. That's completely fine, and he executed the play pretty well, especially from a read standpoint, so there's nothing really bad or good on this play. Then move on quickly to 2nd and 10, how they continued here with a play action boot off of a wide split zone. We saw that in week 1 of the preseason as well, where DJ Moore had a 15-yard gain. Now the Bengals were prepared for it. We got DJ Moore slipping through into the flats. We got number 14 Gerald Everett doing a block and then just sit, and then over out by Keenan and a deep corner by Cole Kmet, and the pressure appears pretty quickly on Caleb Williams here, and he gets rid of the ball here quickly to number 14 and kind of throws it away. And the one thing I say is I want Caleb to be a little bit more patient here on this plays and keep your eyes longer down the field, because I think he got Keenan Allen here for a solid gain, and it's open. It's kind of NFL open, and Keenan is going to make that catch. If you just put it onto his belly, it should be an easy completion. So I'm fine with the completion, getting rid of the ball here to Gerald Everett. I would have loved for him to keep the eyes a little bit longer downfield to get Keenan here, but it's okay on 2nd and 10, and we can get better here. He will learn from that, but it's overall not a bad executed play. Again, it's just not hitting here what the Bears are trying to do, but again, it's repeated plays that the Bengals saw in preseason week 1, so that's all I'm going to say about that. And then we face a quick 3rd and 10. The Bears in a 3rd and long pretty early in this game. We're getting a cover 1-man robber here by the Cincinnati Bengals defense. As for the personnel here, we're again in a 20 personnel, getting 2 running backs in the backfield who are chipping and then getting out into the flats. Keenan Allen is running a 15-yard inside release out. Rome is stretching the field with a go route, and DJ Moore's a inside release 15-yard in route here on this play. And nothing's really open. And I think it's kind of a miscommunication here with Keenan Allen and Caleb Williams here, because Keenan tries to stack the DB here, but gets undercut by the DB and is just being stuck here. There's no way he's winning to the outside at this point. And I think this is just, as I said, a little bit of communication that needs to get better before the regular season. Keenan stops then and just works into the zone, and I think Caleb expected him to work more to the sidelines here. Kind of also looks like a throwaway. I don't know what it really was, but just a little miscommunication here on 3rd and 10, but those things will get figured out before the season. And Keenan Allen is a vet that probably does a lot of things different than younger guys that come into the league, right? He's an experienced player, so just still getting on the same page. But as the season goes on, that connection should develop more and more, and I honestly do not worry about that at this moment at all. Then we jump into the second drive, where they started off with 2 runs, which ended up in a 3rd and 5 situation for the Bears. We're facing a cover 3 here by the Bengals defense, and the Bears try to confuse the defense here a little bit with a bunch tight with a couple of different releases off of it here. And I kind of like the concept here and the call by Shane Waldron. It's not a bad call. We get a tight end follow route as we have Rome Odunze going on a drag and sits in the zone coverage. Gerald Everett follows and then sits, and then Keenan Allen's getting a deep out, and DJ Moore is running a comeback. And with the different releases, I think it kind of creates the confusion that you want to have here. And the issue, in my opinion, is we do not get past the sticks here. And I don't know what's the case, if it's on Gerald Everett, who doesn't work past the sticks, or if the concept is really just designed to go 3 yards. But I would have loved if the players just stretched it out a little bit to get a first down here, because it worked out pretty well. And I think it's a good, decisive, accurate throw here by Caleb Williams. And Everett is NFL open here. It's a tight window, but he gets in there quickly and makes a good throw. And if Everett just works a little bit deeper down the field, that's a first down. So I think it's, again, just a precision a little bit on the concept here. But again, it's preseason football. We're probably not running these plays to perfection right now, and that's totally fine. So the Bears go 3 and out again, which is obviously something we did not want to see. As we hop into drive 3 already, starting it off with a 1st and 10, this time a cover 2 by the Cincinnati Bengals. We're running a stick concept and getting a completion to Cole Kmet here, who's running a OTB route over the ball. We got the running backs chipping again in 21 personnel now, and then we got from both outsides, Keenan and DJ, just curl routes past the sticks. And again, a quick, decisive, executed play here by Caleb Williams with a good, accurate throw. Get a couple of yards and get a comfortable 2nd down situation going. I like it. Simple, puts it on his chest. There's nothing more he can do, and good quick game execution. I really like to see it, as the Bears then try to follow that up with a quick power run on 2nd down, which unfortunately doesn't work and sets up a 3rd and 2. And I think this is, again, a really good decision by Caleb Williams on this play. We're getting a motion over from Gerald Everett, which tells Caleb, hey, we're in man coverage here. We're getting one-on-one with DJ Moore, who's running a slant route. Gerald Everett is running a 5-and-out Keenan, and Rome Odunze doing a switch release post by Odunze, and Keenan is going down the numbers on a go route. And I know Keenan and Rome are technically open, or kind of open. He could have taken those 2 guys as well, but I really think it's a great decision by Caleb, right? Defense, the motion indicates we're getting man coverage. You got a one-on-one slant to DJ Moore, trusting against a backup player to get open. And I think the ball is pinpoint accurate, perfect ball where only DJ can get that football, but unfortunately he just doesn't win one-on-one here. I don't know if it's preseason and they're not really trying 100%, which I can imagine, or it's just a good defensive play here as well. So that's fine, but it's a good decision, and that's what's important to see. And I think DJ is winning that one-on-one matchup in the regular season against anybody who comes up against him. So I think it's just preseason football. It's a little bit more lackluster effort, but it's a good ball and it's a good decision. I really liked seeing that by Caleb, but unfortunately it didn't pay off right here. As then the Chicago Bears coaches decide to keep Caleb Williams in the game. Keenan and DJ got substituted, but that's fine. Drive 4 was still with Caleb and just getting him into more rhythm here, which was a great decision by Matt Eberflus. Credit to him and the staff here. On a 1st and 10, we're running a wide split zone play action again, which I absolutely love, and we're starting it off with a dime to Tyler Scott here on this play action play. We're getting a cover 4 look by the Cincinnati Bengals, and we have a really good time here in in the pocket by Caleb Williams. We're getting a deep over route by Rome Odunze, who gains the attention of the boundary side safety, and Caleb Williams sees that, locates that, and then puts a beautiful deep ball on Tyler Scott, who's running a go route and just burned his guy deep there, and it's a perfect, absolute perfect deep ball by Caleb. He leads him. Only Tyler Scott can catch that football, and then it gets a deserved penalty here on a pass interference, and it obviously doesn't show up on the stat sheet, but that doesn't matter. It's preseason. It's about, can he do and make these throws in real life, in real situations against tight coverage? He absolutely did, and one of the best throws of the entire day, as it then follows up with a 1st and 15 against a cover 3 sky, which is one of the throws that he definitely wants to go and have back. I think that was the biggest learning curve here, this play especially. It's a touchdown look for this play here against cover 3 sky. We're faking a tunnel screen to Rome Odunze, and then number 10 Tyler Scott is stretching the field down to numbers, and Dante Pettis down to seams. They're both acting like they're blocking and then getting out on top, and then Cole Kmet on the backside is having a post, and he will not miss that play again. Trust me, I think he's a guy that will make a mistake only once. Pettis is wide open as it gets, and I know there's a little pressure in his face because Nate Davis is getting beat, but Caleb Williams still has enough time in the pocket to get rid of that throw and anticipate it. So I would have loved to see that touchdown here. It was open, and I think it's good enough protection to get the ball off. And I know there's a deep safety who's kind of lurking and trying to go over here on that 3 sky look, but I think in no world this safety is going to make a play if Caleb puts it on a rope onto Dante Pettis' chest. So that's a missed opportunity. I know he wants that ball back, but I mean, at the end of the day, it's good that he made that mistake now. And as I said, I think he's a guy that's not going to make the same mistake twice, as the Bears then settle for a field goal on that drive and at least get a couple of points here. And that last big miss here by Caleb Williams leads us to drive number 5, where the Bears finally capped off a drive with a touchdown. We're starting it off on a 2nd and 4 play, which I absolutely love by Caleb. We're motioning over Gerald Everett again to identify the coverage a little bit, and he motions over and gets into the flats, and Simba Webster runs a inside release hitch. We got an OTB by Cole Kmet, and then Rome runs a go route here. And the motion tells us here that it's going to be a zone, especially a cover 2 zone here for the Chicago Bears. And I like how Caleb just goes through his progression here. First read is Gerald Everett, and the second is Simba Webster. He goes to the flats first, moves that flat defender with him, which opens up that space between flat defending zone and hook to curl zone to Nazimba Webster. Webster also does a great job working into zone, and then from 1 to 2, Caleb fires it into Nazimba Webster's chest and also gives him enough time to do something after the catch, and it's an 11-yard completion. Really like it, under control in the pocket, just fires it quickly, 1 to 2. That's what you want to see, and Caleb Williams in this game, I have to admit it, had a really good game playing the quick game, and that's something he really needs to have, because the NFL revolves around deeper concepts and play action, obviously, but also quick game. If you cannot execute a good quick game, you're not going to be an NFL player. So really loved seeing that by Caleb. As we then moved past the sticks and got a 1st and 10 situation now, which was an unfortunate miss. Another good learning situation here for Caleb. We get a cover 4-ish look here by the Bengals again, and we're running down the field with Tyler Scott outside and Rome Odunze. We got Khalil Herbert, who gains the attention of the linebackers playing the flats here, and then also 88 Carlson is check releasing into the flats, and then Gerald Everett is down open on a 15-yard dig route. And I think overall we have a little instant pressure here by Braxton Jones, so the pocket awareness is great, and the way he steps up and stays in the pocket is beautiful, and he got Everett wide open as it gets in the NFL. And I think the big thing here is that I want to see from Caleb Williams is that he just stays in the base here. I know he's a player that can make incredible off-platform throws, as we will see in a second, but at the same time, you got to stay within your mechanics. I would have loved for him to step up in the pocket, which he did, and then get back into his base and throw from a good quality overall mechanical standpoint and not make that an unnecessary complicated throw here. So that's why I missed that throw here. There's no need for difficult off-platform throws all the time. As I said, we know he can do it, but set your feet and deliver a good ball. So again, another good play to learn from, and I liked seeing that being a problem in preseason rather than in regular season. And as I said, we're going to see him make another big play here. 2nd and 10 now. After missing a big one off platform, he makes probably the best throw I've seen by a Bears quarterback in a very, very long time, maybe ever, which is crazy because it's only preseason and there's so many more great plays to come. But talking about off platform throws, we got a empty formation here. Love seeing Caleb Williams on empty. I think he can be a really good quarterback doing that. Khalil Herbert goes down into the flats. We got a 15-yard out by Rome Odunze. Carlson with a follow. Sid, tight end follow here again. We got the over route by Tyler Scott, and then Dante Pettis with a 15-yard in here. Weak side, we got a high-low read, as I said, so he tries to attack that side first, and he starts off left and gets pressure quickly and senses the pressure and turns into a scramble drill in this one here and escapes to the left. And I mean, Rome Odunze plays along. 15 and out is not early open here. He sees that Caleb needs to escape the pocket, plays along, goes vertical, and just stretches the field. And I mean, talking about ball placement here by Caleb Williams, as I said, one of the best throws I've ever seen a Bears quarterback make. Throwing to the left, off balance, leading him to the sideline away from the defender with a perfect ball dropping into the bucket of Rome Odunze. You cannot throw that ball any better. You just simply cannot. It's an unbelievable throw. I'm so happy that he made that throw in preseason and just showed everybody, hey, I am that dude. And it was just such a fun and incredible play here by Caleb. I cannot praise it enough, but I think at this point everybody saw that play, so I'm not going into more detail here. And then moving it on in this drive, the Bears followed this 2nd and 10 completion up with a first down throwaway, which was fine by Caleb. And then we have a very interesting 2nd and 7 situation, which was a play action toss to the left. We got Kari Blessingame going into the flats, Everett going over, and also Tyler Scott on an over route. And then Rome Odunze runs a deep out into the back pylon. And the end did not bite on that play action at all by Caleb Williams. Now, what I like to see is that he gains good depth on play action, which still makes the play possible, even though that edge is not really biting on the play. With gaining depth, he at least buys himself time. So that was great by Caleb from that standpoint, how he sold that play action and just got out of it and gained vertical depth to the back. And then he got Gerald Everett kind of open, but the issue is you have that edge rusher right in your face, so he cannot get that throw off. So he keeps going until that deep safety comes down that covered Rome Odunze, fires a perfect ball again right into the end corner of that end zone to the back pylon. And unfortunately, you probably saw it as well during the game, obviously, but Rome Odunze did not come up with that play. He needs to be a little bit more aware of where he is, but again, it's preseason, so great to get those mistakes out of the way right now. I think Rome is also a player that's not going to do a mistake again, and definitely not that one. So it was a great throw. It was great seeing Caleb showing his improvement skills again here, and unfortunately it wasn't a touchdown, but the connection is evident and they will get better at it and keep those mental little mistakes away in the future. And then we have a 3rd and 7, the last play that we want to look at today, which is his rushing touchdown. Obviously, we get a 7 across from the defense, so 7 players into evenly spread zones into the end zone here. We got Rome with a fade route here. Got Tyler Scott, who's running a whip, a sit route by Gerald Everett, and also Dante Pettis. And then also in that empty look, Khalil Herbert with a fade route. And the thing that impressed me here the most is, first of all, there's nothing open, so it's really about the pocket movement here by Caleb and how he kept that play alive. We get slight pressure right away on the Braxton Jones side, so he just steps up with a minimal movement and good base here, and then pressure appears from the middle all of a sudden, so he escapes to the right, loops back all the way to the left, makes a couple of players miss. Eyes always down the field. He was really trying to get a pass touchdown going here, but nothing was open. He tried to direct a couple of people, but they did not get open at all. So his last real chance here of getting something done is running it himself, and wide open lane appears. He takes off and gets easy yards with his legs. But again, the pocket movement on that play was beautiful. The awareness of where the rushers are and just being under total control, having the eyes still down the field all the time. love to see those things. And then why not use your legs? He's a fast, athletic player, so really loved seeing that by Caleb. Showed a lot of things that showed so much growth and how far along he's already in this process of becoming a #1 overall quarterback in this league and becoming one of the best that has ever played in a Bears uniform. And that was just special stuff to end off this game and get a well-deserved touchdown, his first touchdown for the Chicago Bears at Soldier Field in preseason week 2. And that special touchdown by Caleb leads us to the conclusion of today's video. What do I think of Caleb's performance overall? First of all, I think it was a great preseason game to learn from. There was a couple of mistakes mechanically that he needs to get better at, especially the one on that deep dig route by Gerald Everett. Just set your feet and throw it from a clear base. Also, a couple of reads that he definitely probably wants to have back that he could have made better. For example, the tunnel screen fake where he missed Dante Pettis wide open screaming down the field. But overall, he showed great pocket awareness, good pocket movements, had a really quick release, and showed that he can operate an NFL quick game with almost perfection. It was not really on him. It was players not making the play or being open, but he made good decisions, was really accurate throughout the day, and obviously showed his crazy improvement skills in off-platform throws. The crazy stuff was evident in this game too, and that's just all things that make me really excited. And again, I'm repeating myself, but it's good that he got those things out of the system now. Preseason is there for players to learn, to make mistakes, and it was really good seeing Caleb make mistakes because now he has it on tape and can visually learn from it with the coaching staff. And I think overall, great job. So much fun seeing Caleb ball out, and the entire offense was great to see Rome Odunze ball out, and I was just really happy with everything played out after the early struggles in yesterday's game. Also mentally coming back from a couple of 3-and-outs where you really get and feel the pressure in the stadium. So great job here. Shout out to Matt Eberflus for keeping it out longer and just making sure his QB is comfortable for the regular season and ready to go. And I think that's going to be the last action that we will see from Caleb actually for this preseason, which I'm absolutely fine with. Let him rest and learn from those things that he showed in preseason. And yes, with that being said, guys, that's the end of the episode. I hope you've enjoyed it. Definitely let me know in the comments down below what you thought of Caleb Williams' preseason week 2 performance. What do you think of his special throws that he showed? Like and subscribe if you liked the video. Check out Instagram and Twitter if you want to as well. And as always, guys, bear down.